Hey folks, welcome to a special holiday edition of History with Dave. We're here at the beautiful Lynwood Estate, and we're going to go in and check out their Christmas decorations. Welcome to the historic Lynwood house. We're here with the owner, or one of the owners, Melissa Tipton, and she's going to take us on a little bit of a tour. Can you tell us anything about the house before we get started?
So the house was built by Pattie and Brutus Clay in 1880. It was built by Samuel Jardins, and he was an architect out of Cincinnati, Ohio.
And I believe this is one of 4 homes in Richmond that he helped design and build.
Right, it was the first of 4. Amberley was second, Bennett House, and then Elmwood.
Awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing what you all have done for Christmas. So
I'm so excited to have you here.
Awesome.
So this is what we call our office, and we try to decorate in anything historical, relative to Richmond, or significant to Richmond. And in here we have some animatronics that were in the window display at EV Elder, which was located on Main Street in between the J.C. Penney and Glendon Hotel.
Awesome. Well, it is lovely and beautiful.
Thank you. And so in here we have the parlor. And these animatronics were actually from the Smart Shop, which was across the courthouse, close to Best Level Hardware.
Well, it's lovely to see pieces of Richmond history in another beautiful piece of Richmond
funny.
history.
You don't look for it. It sometimes just lands in your lap. Yeah. And so when we found this set, we were very excited. We think they were from the 40s, so 1940 is what we're guessing.
Very cool.
They actually work. We don't have them working yet, but some of them work. They're just not all the time working.
Well, for something that old, the fact that it still works a little bit,
exactly.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's very cool. And so in here, just kind of some family heirloom things that we've added. My mom spent early 80s making the ornaments on this tree, and so this was just kind of sentimental to me. But we've added her antique little chinaware that was Christmas related, and then some really cool little Christmas cubes that make different scenes for the holiday.
Very cool. You want to show me the Christmas cubes? You get a close-up of these, Randy? Yep. I'm going to remember how these work. But
I would think that they were from the 50s. They're not as old as some of the wooden blocks that we have, but I would guess those to be around the 50s or 60s.
That's cool, because that's whoever came up with that had a little bit of genius in them to put that together, because I know I'd get confused real quick.
I know. They're so much fun to play with, and watching kids still play with them is so fun to watch.
Very cool. So also in the dining room here, we have some other family heirlooms we can talk about.
The violin came from World War I, and that was his great-grandfather had that and was very proud of it and spent years sending off letters. He thought it was a Stradivarius, and it was just neat to be able to display that here.
That's very cool. My own grandfather wanted to take up playing the violin, but it was during the Depression, and so he wasn't able to.
Right.
So violins are always a special piece for me.
Yeah, we like having family-related stuff in the house to share with others. It's kind of where most of the family spent. The Smith family, when they lived here, evidently this was the most used room. We use this as a living room, but it's very plain in its finish, so I'm assuming that maybe the help was back here. We've added some stuff, and on this tree we just did some antique cards, antique ornaments, and the candles that were lit way back when. I don't know how they didn't burn down homes back then.
It's amazing that there weren't more that went up, but it's still a nice little piece of our history.
Yeah, it looks great when they're put on there.
So we're out here in the front stairway, and then you all have this decorated as well.
Yeah, we just kind of added some antique toys just to put around the tree, just to give it a little feel of Christmas time. I like adding, again, things related to the family.
Right.
This was something that his grandfather did, Millard, and to find that and it be Christmas related and be able to display it.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I don't know how old that would have been, but I'm going to guess this was in the 40s,
40.
maybe even earlier than that.
Very
So,
cool. Those little family touches are special.
Yeah, they mean a lot.
Especially for something like that.
Absolutely, yeah.
Has made it. So we've arrived upstairs in one of the lovely bedrooms here with some, what you were telling me is some beautiful carved French
Yes.
bed and armoire.
Yes.
And then a local piece as well.
Yep.
And then over here you were showing me there's a couple family heirlooms.
Yeah, and so we always collect little curiosities to put on display. And so over here is a very old watercolor set. And then in here, I added some early 1950s matchbooks from Parquet. And they're Christmas related. So they were passed out around the holidays when it was okay to smoke.
Okay. Very cool. Okay, so this is one of the front bedrooms, and you've got a tree done on cameos up
Yeah,
here.
so
Really neat.
for the last 2 years, I've been collecting cameos just to add a little charm to the trees, just to make it more antique and Christmas feeling. And in them, I had little pictures of me and Bryan or family inside the cameos that are lockets.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
That's a nice little touch to add those in.
So they are Christmas cards and Valentine's cards, and we were going through some chest of his great-great-grandmother's house, and these were cards written to his great-grandmother from his great-grandfather. And they're just fascinating. They just fold up, cute card, and then fold down, and it's 3D.
Very cool.
And again, we just add anything family related. So my mom gave me these carolers to display. My dad decorated our house just like the Griswolds did my whole childhood. So every inch of the house, roof, driveway, if it could have lights on it, my dad put lights on it. And so I've been raiding my mom's Christmas collection.
Well, those are cool. We have a very similar set down in the tourism house that's on the steps, and they greet everybody coming in the door. So
There's nothing more Christmas than carolers.
no, there's not. So we've arrived in one of the master bedrooms. So what can you tell me about up here?
So this is still a work in progress, but this is our main bedroom where we stay. And just kind of did the Christmas tree and Santas that my mother has collected and given to me, and just kind of spruced it up a little bit. Still working on it. New bed, and I'm still working on the curtains to go on top of it.
Well, it is lovely,
Thank
even
you.
though it's a work in progress, but I'm sure when it's done, it'll be even more impressive. So
Thank you.
Look forward to seeing that.
Thanks.
So we've arrived on the third floor, and this is the would have been servants' quarters and maybe a nursery or
Yes.
something like that up here. And you all have this decorated as Santa's workshop.
I believe that this is where Santa and the elves do all their little work.
Well, the attic at my grandmother's house was always my favorite place to play, and so
All the nooks and crannies to hide in.
yes. So if Santa and his elves are up here, this would be a good spot for them.
I mean, it has to be where they're at.
out here to the Lynwood cottage outside, and you were kind enough to show us the player piano.
Yep.
That's also a Tipton family heirloom.
Yeah, that's Brian's great-great-grandmother's piano that his sister would practice piano on. He said he remembered Mom and Dad taking him and his sister to the grandmother's house so that she could practice her piano lessons.
That's such a great story. And of course, you have everything decorated out here as
Yeah.
well. So.
And again, one of the old brochures from Whitehall. Here eventually will be my little Santa's workshop. Set up with trains, toys, elves.
It'll be a great space for that.
I think it'll be really neat.
And we have the same nutcrackers at Tourism on Brutus's other house. So
They look sharp.
thank you for showing us around Lynwood. And if anybody's interested in getting more information about Lynwood, if you Google Lynwood Estate, all of your info will come up on your
Yeah.
website. And Lynwood is available for rental for weddings and
Yes.
events.
Yeah.
Right? Excellent. Well, and for more information about Richmond tourism, visit our website and be sure to like us on Facebook. Thank you for joining us for this lovely little Christmas special of History with Dave.